The reason we only stock D'Addario strings is because D'Addario strings are perfect.
When people come in here, they think that we get them for free or something like that, but we don't. We have no other reason except for dependability and tone.
Hey everyone, this is Chris Kies for Premier Guitar. I'm at the Brooklyn Bowl in Nashville, Tennessee with the guys from Oni. We got Eric on my left, Jared Dines on my right. All right, gentlemen, how did you guys get this gig? Obviously, Jake Oni is the namesake and the sole proprietor of the domination that is the band. Yeah. But you guys have been in the fold for a while. You've been on a few tours. So how did you get the gig? Like, how did you get your name in the hat? How does this all come about with, getting the gig?
I got involved with a project. I started out as a guitar tech.
This is a great story. This is a fantastic story.
Okay,
Should I tell?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, so there were originally two guys that played in the band, and they had other like engagements that they had to leave for. They hired me on as a guitar tech because I went to school with them, and I love those dudes. When they left, Jake wanted Jared obviously because he had been a part of the project before with writing and whatnot, and they hired another guy that was cool.
I feel like you're putting that very diplomatically.
Mr. Cool Guy.
Yeah, he was chill, but
Capital K.
So
Yeah.
I was still guitar tech, and midway through the tour, there's some.
He was very cool, and
Yeah,
he
he
was
was a
very chill.
Yeah, he was just too chill.
Yeah, he was too chill.
It was too cool. So they decided to part ways with him, and then I just kind of picked up from there. So.
And he learned the whole set in a day.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a crash course.
Yeah. It's I get a call from Jake, and he's just like, "Hey man, guess what? You're playing guitar tomorrow." It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so Eric got a day's notice. I got 2 days notice.
So yours is really easy to learn.
Exactly. Yeah, I had
48 hours?
100% more time to learn the set than he did. But yeah, I've known Jake for a few years.
Okay.
Obviously, I've written some songs with him before. We have a song out together. And he just called me one day and he's like, "Hey dude, I wanted to come play, come on tour." And it was a tour we just did with Crown the Empire, Capstan, Dark Divine. And I was like, "Sick, yeah, when?" And he was like, "You gotta fly out in 2 days for rehearsals." And I was like, "Okay, send me the set." And I had literally just moved too, so all my shit was in boxes. So I had to unpack everything and just learn like 8 songs in like a day and a half and then fly out. But we had rehearsals, so it helped. But so that's how I started playing live with Oni. And then towards the end of that tour, me and Jake were just like, "Dude, let's just keep doing this."
Yeah.
And here we are.
Do you guys have a guitar tech now?
No. I guess I'm double duty.
Well, also you don't want to have the guy waiting in the wings in case you become too cool.
Yeah, that's right. I got it covered, bro.
Yeah.
Jake sounds like he's got a fast trigger when it comes to the phone calls. He's ready to go.
Yeah.
Like if you're too cool, he's gonna find somebody.
Yeah, I think he's pretty good judgment of character.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
So-
for sure.
Now, is 8-string kind of where you live, Eric, when you're playing your own music or other projects you've been involved with, or was that kind of a learning curve to get up to speed on the Oni stuff?
I played in another band that we play 7 strings.
Okay.
So I was kind of used to the extended range thing. Just I honestly love 6-string the most, but
Yeah.
I mean it's not a big deal, especially like these guitars play so well. So like I can adapt to it pretty quickly. I don't know.
Tell me about your main ride here.
Oh
What's this all
yeah,
about?
I got this last tour. So this is a Jackson. I think it's a Concept 8. I think that's what it's called. I think it's a limited run of them. But I mean, it's a Korean-made Jackson, the multi-scale, the 25.5 to 27-inch scale length. Yeah, it's got the Fishman Fluence Moderns, I think. It's pretty cool. And then it's got the, like, you can choose the different modes or whatever, like from the vintage to the
voicings.
Yeah, their whole system they got going on. And I actually installed a 5-way switch so I can get the split coil sounds and the in-between sounds.
Was that a tone knob there that you had?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So this always gets in my way whenever I'm playing. I do this with all my guitars. So I just get rid of the tone knob completely and just put the volume here. Just yeah, I don't know.
As Perry would say, that's all gas, no brakes.
That's right, man. Hell yeah. Yeah.
Now, what about you, Jared? Obviously, you have an affiliation, a great partnership with the guys at Music Man and Ernie Ball, but needed 2 more strings for this one. Couldn't bring the StingRay.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. At home, I'm usually either 6 strings or 20. There's like no in between, right? But yeah, so this one, I needed an 8 for Oni Music, and so reached out to him, and I thought I was just gonna get one of the 8 StingRays. I think Jason Richardson has a StingRay that's 8, but they sent me the full-on Petrucci Majesty. This thing is amazing. It's the only guitar that I have on tour.
Really?
I don't have a backup, so it's either this or I'm standing there just, you know, dancing around looking like an idiot. But no, this is great. You have your tone knob, you know, you got your boost gain right there, you know, tone roll off, piezo, which I only use for one song called Control, because we have like a lot of clean stuff in that one, but it sounds amazing, so I just flip it on. But yeah, and then I have my little custom Dines, you know, string clamp right there to stop the noise. Someone made that for me years ago and I still have it. I love those things. But yeah, this thing's awesome, and shout out to Music Man.
Yeah.
Sure.
No, I want to bring this up because like 2020 was kind of across the board a pretty shitty year for a lot of people, if not most people. Mm-hmm. You had a great year, at least on the surface. You had the Guitar World cover. Mm-hmm. You had their signature guitar come out.
Yeah.
And it, you know, it just speaks to in guitar culture and guitar YouTube. You know, that's where we all live, the pool we all swim in, and it had to be a great feeling to be acknowledged by, you know, by all standards, what we all grew up wanting to be on, a guitar magazine, whether it's Guitar Player or Guitar World or even like Hit Parader back in the day. But you know, you broke that ceiling. What was that like?
Wild. It was wild, man. Yeah, I'm very lucky and blessed to be able to do that. But it was just something that was kind of a couple years in the works. Obviously, you know, I've had a partnership with Ernie Ball for a long time, so the signature was, you know, bound to happen. And the magazine thing, actually, I got to shout out my manager, Tony, if you're watching this. He really facilitated that whole thing.
Oh, nice.
And that was kind of a partnership we did with Martin, where we flew out to their headquarters, did a photo shoot, and then they partnered together for the Guitar World cover, right? So yeah, that was a crazy experience, man. It's stuff like that, you know, like seeing your name on the back of the packets of strings. Because when I was a kid, like that's how I'd find bands when I was playing guitar. Yeah. I'd look at the strings and be like, okay, like I'll check these bands out or whatever, and then seeing your name on it is just a trip. It's wild. Yeah, it's crazy.
I bet, man. And what was your experience at Martin? Because when I think of Jared Dines, I don't typically think of
acoustic.
You know, D28 or D45 or anything like that.
Yeah, it was fun, man. Like, yeah, I'm not a super, you know, acoustic player. It's not something I do often, but it was really fun. It was a cool experience. Those guys are awesome. Yeah.
We got to tour their facility, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, and it's really cool. All the handwork they still do, even though they crank out as many guitars as you can imagine, you know, from an acoustic production standpoint. Yeah, it's a really cool facility.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's really sick.
Yeah, I don't imagine too many acoustic guitars get used on stage for Oni, though.
No, not yet. Yeah. We were about to do an acoustic version of the song Control for like a radio thing, but that ended up falling through. So we did have a couple acoustics on the last tour.
Okay.
But it didn't work out, so.
Now, what about you, Eric? Do you have a backup for your Jackson, or is that kind of your ride or die?
No, we're just
out here,
fingers, bro.
We're just raw dogging it with one guitar, man. Like,
yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. No net, nothing. Let's go.
I'm chilling, man.
What strings are you running?
These are D'Addario NYXLs.
And the D'Addario NYXL.
But they're D'Addario strings, and I've been using their since forever, and I love them.
D'Addario strings as well.
D'Addarios.
Right. D'Addario. I've been using D'Addario. I'm a fan of D'Addario.
Started using these D'Addarios. I like the D'Addario NYXLs.
These are D'Addario, and I got the NYXLs on here.
Now, what are you guys running? Obviously for rig, it's we kind of heard you guys jamming on the intro there. What was getting processed? What were we hearing? You know, no amps, so what were we using?
Yeah, we're using the Neural DSP Quad Cortex. I think these are becoming like industry standard at this point. A lot of bands, especially in this genre, are using them. And we've got them mounted on a Temple Audio pedal board. I guess like specifically like our main rhythm sound is like the Gojira amp sim, the archetype Gojira X. We got that going for like main crunch, like 5150 style gain sounds.
Yep.
And then like our clean tone, it's the Polini clean first amp. I think it's a jazz chorus. I don't know for sure, but they'll probably copyright that. Or
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, we just keep it simple. I mean, it just sounds good right out of the box. So. I mean, if it works, dude. If it gets me playing guitar faster, it gets us playing.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, what were you saying? You were saying before we started rolling that your mission statement is to just make it work.
Just make it work. Yes.
As long as it works.
As long as it works, that's the goal, man. I think before like the rubber hit the road with all this stuff, I would have like all the like wanting to complicate everything and make everything super intricate. And then once that stuff starts going into action, you realize, oh man, okay, maybe I should strip down some things and kind of clean it up just so everything operates smoothly.
Yeah.
Especially us being one of 4 on this tour, man. We want to take up a small footprint as possible with these things and kind of be out of everybody's way and just get up on stage quick, set up, ready to go. So,
especially without a guitar tech. Yeah, that's the other point too.
Yeah. No, we were here. Drum kit wasn't even set up yet, and then within 15 minutes, you guys were up playing the first song. So there's a real pragmatism to the new Quad Cortex or any of those digital modelers out there.
Yeah.
What's been your experience? Because I know that you've not only probably toured with so much stuff, but also your videos that people watch all the time. You've used a Line 6 Spider, but then you've also used 100-watt real deal tube breathers, monsters. So what's your been learning curve dealing with not only just the Quad Cortex, but also just the digital on-stage thing?
As long as it's easy to use and it sounds good, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we have pretty much the same exact rig. And it's fun sitting there and going through the tones, because we did that before coming out, and okay, put a little more gain on this patch here, put a little more reverb or whatever, and then that's fun to like dive in and do that. But then knowing that like we just have it there and we just play. I don't have to sit here and do this shit, every song. It's just doing it for us with the MIDI patch changes and stuff, and it's great. I love it. And Neural, they've come a long way, and some of now that you can actually put the plugins into the Cortexes, you have so many options. It's sick. Yeah.
I can actually talk about the MIDI switching.
Oh yeah, do it.
And I actually got this idea from watching your guys' channel, Aaron Marshall.
Oh yeah.
I think
he's a wizard when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah, exactly, man. And like, so these there's little side modules on these boards where we have like our front of house or stereo front of house left and right coming out.
Yep.
But also you'll see a MIDI through XLR. So it's going from XLR into MIDI. And so we don't need to have like long MIDI cables. We can just rely on an XLR, which are, if they fail, every front of house guy has one.
Yeah.
So we're just, our boards are connected via MIDI through XLR, and then there's an XLR getting connected to Jared's board that goes into playback, and all the changes are in the Ableton session. So we just don't have to think about tap dancing at all. It just happens for us.
Yeah. The magic.
Yeah, man. And I feel like a lot of bands in this genre are doing that now. It's becoming more and more standard.
Yeah. It's a weird word to say, but it's becoming more acceptable.
Yeah,
or accepted.
Sure. Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stigma. Years back, it's obviously gone more now because the money that people can save using these types of rigs and not hauling in 412s and tube amps.
Yeah.
We just did a chat pile, and the guys were telling us like they hadn't been touring that much, and they were like, yeah, we took our vintage amps out, and they said the first gig, guy's amp started on fire, and the other one, the tubes fell out as he was taken out of the whatever club they're playing in Portland. And, like, they quickly changed to Quilter. They're not using like MIDI switching with a Cortex, but it's like that solid state power is there too. It's like it's just a lot easier, a lot less things to worry about, man.
Yep.
It's, you know, people want to bring out their tube amps, but it's a nightmare scenario waiting to happen.
No one on this tour is using cabs.
Oh, really?
There's no cabs being used. So I think in the last tour, it was same deal.
Yeah.
Nobody's like, people are just kind of ditching cabs now.
Yeah.
And like, if you look around, there's so much stuff already on this stage.
Right.
Like, it can afford us to have a light show and have more, I don't know, of a production. We just kind of get rid of some stage sound, which it's like part of that instinctual guitar player thing. It hurts a little bit, but once you get used to the in-ear monitors, man, it's like so worth it.
Well, and the ease of use with these, because as far as performing is concerned, when we're on stage, I love interacting with the crowd. You know, I love looking into the crowd and talking to them. And it's just, if I don't have to think about, oh shit, I got to go back and hit this and click that and click this, I can just engage in the crowd. That makes that so worth it for me. Because then I don't even have to worry about that, and I'm just having the time of my life, just like, yeah, you know, having a good time. And that's what I love. So yeah, those are really cool for that, for me.
From a performance standpoint, in terms of like engaging with the crowd or just, you know, getting to play this music with your buddies, what's that been like, you know, opening for all these other bands on this tour, Pop Evil and Bad Wolves? What's been your experience so far?
It's an awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I have to pinch myself sometimes, you know, because it's like, it's such a great experience being around all these professional, and not even just the bands, but the crews that are a part of this, man. It's really cool and inspiring being around them. So, yeah, man, I'm stoked.
Yeah, it's a blessing for sure.
Now, really Jared, you've been doing the guitar thing for a long time in terms of, you know, putting out content. What still excites you about doing guitar content, or even just playing guitar? You know, been doing it for a long time, and you've been putting yourself out there for a long time, for better or worse. You know, to being a person on the internet, it's a double-edged sword. Yeah, a lot of success. And
I feel like now playing live is huge. You know, a lot of times with the content, it can burn you out a little bit. You know, sit at home, you make videos all the time, and everyone that I talk to that does guitar YouTube stuff says the same thing: burnout, burnout, burnout. I've never felt burnout when I play live. You know, I've played hundreds of shows over the last 20 years, and every time I step on stage, it's just the greatest feeling ever, no matter what. You know, even if I'm having a nasty headache or I haven't slept, I'm on that stage for that half an hour or however long it is. It's just like a whole nother experience that makes everything worth it. As far as like the content stuff, I'm still interested in doing like videos, but bigger projects, more spaced out, like the Musician Mansion series that I did last year. We filmed that again, season 2. That's coming out soon. Stuff like that is really fun. But yeah, like the daily, just recording myself at home, I did that for 8 years, you know, and it's like, how many videos can I make just being like, metal's funny, you know? Like it's fun, at the time, but I think because I always started live, you know, local bands playing shows, that's what I always just wanted to do. And so it kind of has come full circle, where a lot of people will look at it not knowing that, being like, oh, well, you did YouTube and now he's doing live. It's like, no, I did live for years, and then I did YouTube, and now I'm back to doing live. So I'm kind of going back to my roots a little bit. Yeah. While still doing some YouTube stuff. But yeah, the experience live, connecting with the fans, and just rocking out on stage, man, that's where my heart's always been.
Man, I really hear you speaking from your heart, so it's really great to hear you kind of getting back. I'm not saying you were away from the passion, creating content based on guitar stuff and guitar culture, but getting to where you really get your blood pumping, and it sounds like it's on stage. Yeah. So that's cool. Hopefully you can continue that with Oni or any other projects you got percolated in your, in your back pocket that we don't know about yet.
Yeah, Oni's been awesome. I'm down for Oni, 100%. It's been amazing, yeah.
Now, what should people expect from Oni on the horizon? Is there anything you can kind of, tease out there for 2025? Any tours or anything you guys can allude to or anything like that, or keeping everything close to the vest?
There's some potential tours, but nothing's confirmed yet.
Gotcha.
And then it's just going to be just more music in the future.
A lot of writing. I'm sure we'll do some tours, but yeah, we don't know for sure yet. We do have a new song coming out December 6th. I don't know when this is going to be out, but that's coming out soon.
Oh, what's it called so people can look it up?
It's called Realign. We play it live. We played it live this tour, so people who come to the shows can kind of get a little sneak peek of it. But yeah, that's the next one coming out, and yeah, just releasing more music, and probably for sure doing more shows. Just we don't know yet.
Gotcha. One final question for you, Jared, is I just wanted to go back to developing the signature StingRay with Ernie Ball. What was that process like? You know, a guitar company opens up their vault to you, and here's the scratch pad. Give us what you want. And what was that experience going back and forth? Because it's a guitar player's dream to be able to do what you got to do.
Yeah, it was actually really cool because me and my manager flew down to their headquarters and actually met with what's his name? Mr. Ball.
Sterling?
Sterling,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Sorry.
He's a character.
Oh, he is, dude. He's the funniest guy ever. So we actually went and did it in person, and he just had a bunch of guitars on the wall, and he was like, so what do you want to base it off of? And I just grabbed one, and I was like, well, I don't really like the neck. He's like, I'll call someone in. So he called someone in. He's like, we need a different neck. What do you want? Pick a neck. And so I picked one, and they built a guitar while I was there. And that was the first prototype. I actually ended up giving that one to my best friend's son, so I don't have it anymore.
Oh, that's awesome.
When I got home, they sent me a prototype, and then we decided on the colors and everything. And just like what Eric was saying with how he takes away, hit that switch right here, I did the same thing because it was based off a StingRay, but when I would play, it would always hit that knob, so I just took it off and stuck it on top of another one. And then we modified the pickups a little bit. It was, I think, the first 24 string StingRay.
24 fret.
24 string. I've been doing that shit way too long. It's just, 24 fret StingRay they had. Did tuners, all that stuff, and then finally came out. And now we have 2 color variations. It was wild. It almost just it doesn't even seem like something that happened, you know?
Yeah.
Because it is like such a cool thing. But I think actually going there, meeting Sterling and the whole crew and everybody was like, that was almost cooler to me than the guitar itself, because I mean, these people are legends, and you're, you know, hanging out with them. So, but yeah, it was awesome.
Was it always kind of your mission or your goal once that was brought to you as a possibility to bring it into the Sterling line, so it was more affordable than a $3,000 Petrucci here?
That's a conversation that we had, and I just figured with, you know, the audience that I have, not saying you guys are broke, but there's a lot, you know, it's a younger audience. They're, you know, teenagers getting into guitar and stuff, watching silly videos, and I wanted everyone to be able to get one if they wanted, you know. So and Music Man has tons of guitars that are, you know, $2,000, $3,000, and they're beautiful. I mean, this guitar is, I would never pay this for this guitar. You should. I don't have that kind of money, but I wanted it to be affordable for everybody, and we didn't skimp on any of the quality either for the Sterling side either, you know. So the best quality at the lowest price, and that's what we came up with.
Well, I really appreciate your time. I know we're up against it. It might even be doors, or you guys might have to start rocking soon. But I really appreciate you, Jared and Eric, for hanging out and talking about your gear. And hopefully we see you guys on the next tour.
Absolutely, man.
Oh, yeah, man.
Thank you,
Pleasure.
guys.
Nice meeting you.
You guys keep safe and keep rocking.